Welcome back to my channel. Go ahead, grab your drink and whatever it is that you do and gather around. Today we're getting back into my favorite show at the moment. It is BET presents the Encore Season 1 Episode 6. So yeah, let's just get right into it. The episode starts with Misha and Pam in the kitchen talking, and apparently Misha said something to Pam about not standing up for them when it came to the twins, and I don't know how I missed that last episode. So, yeah, anyways, Misha apologizes to Pam and says she didn't need to come at her like that. And Pam is so forgiving and she just forgives her with no questions asked. And, we need more people like that in the world that are just so forgiving. I wish I was like that. I'm not and probably will never be, but we do need more people like that. Definitely. So then Felicia walks in and asks if they're still beefing, and they say no. And then Aubrey comes in and sits with Pam, and they discuss who may be coming to the listening event. And I think Aubrey knew that no one was coming for her. And I wonder why. I wonder if there's some beef between her and Danity Kane, because it appears that she talks to none of them. So anyways, Aubrey proceeds to complain about all the hits she's taken, and you can really tell that she's over it. She's over the situation. She doesn't want to be in the house anymore. And Pam was really trying to give uplifting, positive advice to her, and she had a rebuttal for everything. And honestly, you could just tell that she really wasn't feeling it. She's mentally tapped out. So then Sita calls the girls to the living room, and they gather around the TV, and she lets the ladies know that some people will be arriving for a listening party, and these will be people that were involved with their earlier careers and people that they're friends with and family, I guess. So then after Sita tells them that, the girls go down to the studio and decide what order they want to play the tracks in. And then as they're going through their set list, they realize that they don't have one of the songs called Go Don't Leave. And they realize that Cosign has it. So he sends it over and they play it, and they realize that they're not a big fan of Cosign's version. They prefer Felicia's production. And the difference between the two is Cosign's has more of a beat to it, whereas Felicia's has more of an acoustic feel to it. So it kind of just depends on what your music preference is. I personally like Felicia's production better because I'm more into the acoustic guitars and things like that. Whereas somebody else that needs a little beat, a little bounce to it, they might prefer Cosign's. Both were good, so it just depends on what the ladies liked, and the ladies seem to enjoy Felicia's version. So then once they get that figured out, people start to arrive for their listening party, and Brandy from Black is there, and Ronnie, Shamari's husband from BBD, and no, he was in New Edition, definitely a New Edition, not I think he was, in BBD. And then Jazzy Faye and Kima from Total and Mila from 702. And then there were some other people there that I'm just not too familiar with. But here's my question. Where was Dorinda? Because I knew that Adrian wasn't coming, and I damn sure knew that Naturi wasn't coming. So where was Dorinda, the other cheetah girl? Because Raven wasn't coming either. Where was Dorinda? Where were you? And where was Danity Kane, Dawn, D Woods, Shannon? Where were y'all at? The other Cherry sisters, where were y'all at? Anyways, Kima and Pam had an emotional moment, and we find out that Pam blocked Kima on social media after she decided that she no longer wanted to be in the group with her, and not with her, but in the group in general, and that God called her on a different path. So I guess she blocked, her group members from her social media platforms. So then we jump to the listening party, and it starts with skeletons, and after a few bars of singing, the guests stop the song, and they're like, hold up. We didn't come just to sit here and listen. We want to feel it. Give us a performance and some energy. And so they restart the song, and they start to give them a performance. The ladies do, and I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. And then the guests also enjoyed it as well, and it was sweet to see how Ronnie was able to relate to the song with his relationship with Shamari. And of course, Aubrey was over there in the corner hating and saying that the twins wanted to be Beyonce. Ugh. But I will say this though. I love how black people hype each other up. We be doing the most, and I'm here for it. Like, I loved hearing, go twin, go off, you better sing. Like, I love that. We really are just some uplifting people. I love us for real. So then next they play Pam's song, and Pam has the gospel song, and she was up there singing and doing a whole interpretational dance, and I was here for it. I have no negative thing to say about Pam. There will be no Pam slander here. Never. And so the ladies were just having a good time with that song. They were really into it, and it's, with an inspirational song, of course, everybody's going to be into it. You think, but not Aubrey. No, not Aubrey. Aubrey was not feeling anything. And Irish noticed that and said that maybe she just wasn't in a good headspace. But I think Aubrey's just ready to go home. Next is Talkin', and I like that song too. I don't care what anybody says. I'm liking the songs that are being produced, so... Yeah, I was dancing in the kitchen as I was cooking while these played in the background. I can't wait for them to be released, actually. Hopefully. Or some singles, something, but give us a little something. But as Talkin' is playing, I think that Irish started to realize that she doesn't have very many parts on any songs, and she's still the background singer. It's just like she was in 702. So Misha from 702, not Misha, Mila. Yeah, Mila from 702 gets up and starts to speak and says that they've been through a lot and that she's happy to see that the other two are able to do their own thing and that they actually did it. And then the next song is Bird's Eye View. And you know what? I'm not even mad. Misha was geeked because she had her little 4 bars to open up the song, and she was in it. So I'm not even mad at her for that. And that's another bop that I like. And they get more feedback. All the feedback was positive. They really wanted, the guest in attendance was saying how they really needed to make this work somehow because the music was just that good. And I actually agree. I think that they really, really, really need to do something with this. And if they are smart, they will keep this as a reality show so that we are able to continue to hear snippets of their music and get us excited and anxious for the anticipation of their album to drop. And also it will allow them to continuously be in the forefront of media. If we're watching them every week and then they're putting out music, that's just more exposure for them. So hopefully somebody is smart enough to know what they've got on their hands right now. Fingers crossed, BET, don't let me down. So Bird's Eye View was the last song that they sing, and Aubrey just doesn't feel that it was great. She feels like the girls can be better. They're not at their full potential. And I understand her saying that. But then again, I feel like she can't discount the progress that they've made and in the short amount of time that they've come together. You can't knock that. And I don't know. I just feel like she's being bitter. She's being extremely bitter and probably because she's not feeling it. She wants to go home. R&B is not her style of music. She is a pop artist, and that just is what it is. So then after the listening event is done, everybody just goes and they start to mingle. And we have a scene with Pam and Kima. And Kima expresses how she's hurt how Pam ended things, and she feels as though Pam should be singing with Total and making music because they're already a super group. And she also expresses to Pam that she remembers when she called herself the Beyonce of the group. Now, Pam doesn't remember, but she says that basically, it's nothing personal, but she was put in the house for a reason. God has sent her on assignment and she's got to finish her assignment. And they end up having a good conversation, and it ended up good. They were able to hug it out, and Kima says that she loves Pam and that she's rooting for her, and Pam reciprocates the same sentiment. So then we cut to Stone, who is a producer that was at the listening event, and he goes and he talks to Aubrey, who is sitting by herself being a Debbie Downer. Oh, gosh, at this point she should have went back down to the basement, but whatever. So as soon as he sits down and he's just asking her how she is, she starts to go into how they had a music engineer, a music producer, a vocal producer that was nasty to her, and she just hadn't been so disrespected in such a long time, and she was just going on and on and on, to be honest. And I feel like she was ruining the whole vibe. And you could tell that she ruined the vibe because he just says, "That's crazy," and then says, "Good to see you," and gets up and leaves. And then another downer scene. We go to the girls from 702, and they're having a moment, and they're talking about how Mila was hoarse from kicking it at the club the night before. And I'll be honest, I was wondering what was wrong with her voice. I didn't know if she had just been singing the night before, if she had her own gig, or I don't know if the Rona got her. I don't know, but I guess since this was recorded after Outside opened up, she was outside in the streets living her best life, and I'm not mad at her. But yeah, then Irish starts talking about how Shamari got to sing more and whatever was going on in the house the night before, and Mila's like, "Oh, okay, well, this sounds like it's house business. This ain't got nothing to do with me." And Misha notices that Mila's uncomfortable with the conversation, and she tries to steer it back in a positive direction. And she's just saying how she's happy that everybody sounded good, they looked good, and everything was just a positive experience. But Irish wasn't having it. She still has snide things to say about not having enough parts. And here's the thing with Irish. Is she listening to the same voice that the rest of us are? Because if she is, she would understand that she doesn't have the voice. Unfortunately, this may not be her calling, because she sounds about as good as me, and I'm not a good singer at all. So, sis, you're on the show. Just be happy about that. You get to be up there singing and being a background doo-wop pop girl for doing the bare minimum. Do you know how many people would love that opportunity? And here you are ungrateful? Child, I don't even know what to say about Irish, because she was just so negative in that entire interaction that they were having. That was supposed to be a positive moment, a reunion for those women. And what did she do? She acted like they were back in 1998, and she wasn't getting enough singing parts. And I don't know, I just feel like she turned a great positive moment into something so negative. So negative. And also, this just came to my mind. Irish, when Mila left 702 initially and they brought in another singer, you weren't even the lead singer in that situation. The new girl was. So that should tell you enough. You weren't even able to fill the lead singer's shoes. I would just be sitting in the background looking pretty, but whatever. But I am glad that Misha didn't feed into it. Misha didn't take it to a negative place. She didn't turn the situation into a pity party. She wanted to remain positive throughout everything. She was just happy with how everything went down. And I'm glad that she did that. She didn't get sucked into that negativity. So then we have the next scene, and I guess everybody's went home, all the guests, and we see the ladies in the kitchen. And hold on, pause, because I like how their meeting place is the kitchen. That's where you'd probably find me if I was in a house that has some good snacks. I'd always be in the kitchen. But anyways, so the ladies are talking, and Misha lets them know that Irish is upset because she wasn't on a lot of songs. And Shamari understands how she feels. She would probably feel like that too. But The difference between Shamari and Irish is that Shamari can sing. Hate to say it. I hate to say it, but yeah, Shamari actually has vocals. Irish doesn't. She has no reason to be upset. She has no reason to want to go home. If she really wanted to be a singer and she really wanted to be on songs, she would have called Cinnamon and worked on her vocals, but she didn't. So that's on her. So then we go to Aubrey, who is questioning why she's in the house. And honestly, she should just go home, which is what she ends up doing, because the next day no one can find her. And that's when they realize, oh, Aubrey done peaced out on us. And yeah, I'm glad that she's gone, because obviously she was miserable and she was bringing horrible energy into the home. So I'm glad that she's gone. But I did like how everybody was distraught that she was gone, and they felt like she added something to the group. And so they didn't like that. And I thought that was sweet, that they really thought that she brought something to the table. So then they go down to the studio, because now that Aubrey's out, they have to redo the songs that have Aubrey's vocals on them. And the girls aren't happy about Aubrey leaving, obviously. And basically they just have to do what they have to do. They thought that they were going to be finishing it as a unit together, but they're not. So they're laying down the different vocals to make up for Aubrey's. And Cinnamon, Aaliyah, I think her name was Aaliyah, and Cosign come in, and the ladies tell them that Aubrey has left. And so Felicia has Cosign play Bird's Eye View, and he starts to play it, and then he cuts it off because it didn't sound like his. And so then he turns on the song again, but this time it's his version. And Felicia gets upset about it because, for one, he cut off her song in the middle of it, and two, he's playing his version and not her version. And so they go back and forth arguing about who's a producer, who's not. And basically Felicia says that she is a producer in the house, and she's been doing all of the work because he hasn't done anything. He says that he hasn't, the deadline hasn't approached yet, so he still has time to work on their album. And he is the house producer, so he's not sure where all of that is coming from. And, you know, they're going back and forth, and he tells her to relax. Keely jumps in and is like, hold on, bro, don't tell her to relax. I don't like all that misogyny and all of that, which I'm not going to say it was misogyny or not, because I wasn't the one on the receiving end. I probably wouldn't like it if a dude talked to me like that too. So, yeah, go off. And I'll be honest, I was glad that they all came together to tell him that they don't really need him, and that Felicia is a producer. That I think that was the first time I ever really liked Keely. And I hope that's not the only time. But anyways, next week's episode looks really, really good, so I can't wait for that. And yeah, I'll see y'all, or not see y'all, I guess y'all will hear me next week for this review. All right, y'all, be easy. Bye.